Hello, and in this video for the Alaska Statewide Special Education Conference for the Google Forms and IEP Progress Monitoring Workshop, I am going to show you how to create a chart in Google Sheets. And Google Sheets is just like Microsoft Excel. It has all the same functions for charting and that sort of thing, or at least enough to communicate what it is that we're wanting to do. And our data is here in this, and I have some numeric information over here, and I'm going to show you how to do a scatter chart, which is my favorite type. I'm feeling scattered right now. It's the end of the day. But so we go ahead, and as I discussed on the PowerPoint slide, we don't necessarily want to be messing with this data too much. So we're going to add a sheet, and so that adds another sheet down here. And here's our data. And I could just go ahead and copy and paste this information over, this timestamp data. But I don't want to do that, because if I copy and paste it over, I'm going to have to be moving back and forth, copying and pasting things back and forth. And what I want to do instead is reference this information and put it over there. And I do that using a little code. And don't worry about this. These are all over. There's help on these things all over the internet, and I can show you a web page where to find this. But I'm just going to tell the Google Sheet that I want to get information from form responses 1, and then I put in this exclamation point, and I tell it which cell, A1. I want to get information from there, A1. Did I spell everything correctly? Nope, that's from responses. That's a problem of mine. Form responses 1. Okay. See, I knew that I had a problem because I didn't see this timestamp part pop up here. And so there it is. There's that information, and I can just go ahead and click and drag that on down. I don't need to go any further than that. And what's nice about doing it this way is I can go back over here, and I can just go ahead and change this cell and make it a 1, and go back over here, and it's automatically updated, and there's no need to continue copying and pasting. So I can go back over here, hit undo, there's timestamp, go over here, and there it is, it's timestamp. Now for the next portion, what I want to do is go back to this tab or the sheet over here, and I want to pull information from column E. And so again, rather than copy and paste, I go in here and I type in equals form responses 1 exclamation point E1 to tell it which cell. And there it is, and I can copy and paste that down. I'm expecting that when I graph this, that the information will be random. Because what we're doing is I'm just taking this timestamp information, which is when somebody entered data into the cell, and then what it is that they felt about it. So I don't think our chart's going to look like a whole lot, but we're going to do it anyways. So over here is the chart. It says insert chart. I can just click on that, and it pops up here with chart types, and we don't want to do that. We want to go back to recommendations, and it automatically recommends something for you, and we always want to delete that. And the way to do this is we click on this select data range, and it brings up this box, and we want to get rid of that and select A. So it says sheet for A to A. Now, one thing we could do is we could click and I'll hit cancel. I could click and drag and select multiple sheets. Oh, here we are. Delete. Or here, shift click. Select multiple sheets. But I find that I have more errors when I do that because the computer is not as smart as it thinks it is. So I'm going to delete this out and just say I want C. No, I don't want C. I want A to A. Okay. Then I want to select another range and do these separately. So now I want to select B separately. I have better luck doing it this way. I hit OK, And now I can go back over to chart types, and it has all of these suggestions down here for different charts. You can do a line chart. If you're going to do some math with it, it's a little bit better to do a scatter chart. So I selected, oh, look at that. Yep, it's more or less random as to when people filled in this form. But here's our chart. And this is what we've got. And then in this tab over here, customization, this is where we get in and begin to change the chart title, the axes, and play with that sort of stuff, such as how these are spaced apart. So we'll do that. So in here, customization, we can change the chart title to, I don't know, ASIC. And legend at the right, change the colors, font, background colors, features. Now here's something that I forget from time to time, and that is that here's the horizontal axis, but if I click the drop down, then I can access the vertical, left vertical. I expect, and this is where I make my mistake, I expect that, okay, I see horizontal. If I keep scrolling down, vertical will pop up, and it never does. I have to go back up and change that here. Okay, and so this is where we can put in our title. This can be a date or a time or some other like class period or something along those other lines. And here for left vertical, we could change this. This is going to be our response to whatever it was, whether it's date, time, or class period. And move on from there. There's a bunch of other things in here that we can do. So at this point, we just hit insert. And there's our chart. If we want to change our chart at all, we have this drop-down arrow, and we can save it as an image. I typically don't do this stuff here, but I can go back in and do the advanced edit, and that brings us back to this if I want to change something about the chart. And that's all that I've got about that. Thank you very much.